Hi, Louise. Thanks for joining me today.
That's okay.
Now, you are joining us from the UK, right? So it's evening.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. And you did the Copywriting Master Class in February of this year, February 2020.
Yeah, that's right.
And you were one of the people that were there until the end, coming up.
I was.
Cool, which is so good. And we're going to dig into that in just a minute. But first, let's Scooby-Doo back to the beginning. What was happening in your life that led you to think, I need a course for this? I need a copywriting course.
Well, I'd been working as a copywriter for about 18 months, 2 years. I worked in marketing before that, and I'd written a lot of copy in the jobs that I did, but I never had any proper training. I did do a copywriting course before I kind of launched my copywriting career.
Right.
But it was quite a cheap course. It taught me a lot, but I kind of felt like there were still things missing. It would say things like, make sure you talk in, change your tone of voice depending on who you're talking to. But I was like, but how do I do that?
Yeah.
Exactly. And there were lots of little bits and pieces like that. And I felt it was quite old school. It didn't talk about digital marketing very much at all. So I kind of always felt there was more knowledge to be gained, and it kind of held me back as well when dealing with clients and that, because the whole, especially when you're new, you sort of suffer from imposter syndrome even more so than ever.
Yes.
So I kind of just felt like there was something missing and I needed to learn more.
That's awesome. And I love, one of the things I'm talking a lot about this week is, learn while you earn as well.
Yeah.
So doing a course before you got started can really help, and also helps you figure out if this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
But what were you looking for? Because so you'd already done a course. What were you specifically looking for when you started searching again?
It's hard to say, because I didn't specifically think I'm going to search for a course, to be honest. So I've been following you for quite a long time, probably the whole since I started, basically. And obviously I got all your daily drafts and emails, and I saved them all because they're all brilliant. And then obviously, so I kept seeing your masterclass coming up, and I kept thinking I'd really like to do that, but I think the cost was holding me back. Yeah. Not that I felt that it wasn't worth what it was. It was just like, at the time, it was too much for me.
Yeah.
So every time it came around a couple of times, and I kept thinking, this could be the thing that I'm missing. This could be it. So yeah, and then eventually I decided to take the plunge, I think, because I just thought I need to do it to move forward and grow. So
cool. Well, we're going to talk about how you found it, but I want to tap into that, what almost stopped you, because I know it's a significant investment. Was there anything else apart from the financial aspect that had you going, I don't know if this is what I can do?
I suppose partly I was a bit worried that it might overlap a lot of what I'd already learned.
Yeah.
I might not learn that much new. Also, I suppose the time aspect, because I know there was an element of doing tasks, and keeping up with the weekly task sort of thing. And I was a bit worried about, would I keep up with it? Because I've done other courses before and I've fallen behind, and and I know even though you've got the lifetime access, not doing the coaching courses, you're kind of missing out a little bit. So there was that little bit of a worry as well, I think.
Okay, well, let's fast forward to how you found it. So we've got keeping up, there's a value for money, and the overlap as well. So how did you find it in those three areas?
So in terms of keeping up, that was absolutely fine. I mean, the tasks are all broken down. Some of the tasks are bigger than others, but most of them, very doable within the timescales. And I like the way that you had, like, every few weeks you had like a break so that you could catch up. I mean, there were a couple of weeks where I didn't manage to do the tasks ready for the coaching call, but it didn't really, I still went to the coaching call, and it didn't really take anything away. The fact that I hadn't done the task didn't really matter, because I could still see, you give feedback for everybody else. So, and that was all valuable as well. I think I only missed maybe 2 of the tasks out of all of them.
Yeah.
And then, so the other thing, so value for money, it's definitely worth the value for money. I mean, there was so much more. I would say probably 80% of it was that I did, definitely. It kind of delved much more into, I love the way it went into kind of like talking about the features and benefits, and actually how to kind of really delve into into them and sort of pull out the big benefits, the way it went into kind of pain points with your customer. So again, the other course I did was kind of like, make sure you talk about their pain points. It's like, well, what are they, you know, how do I find out their pain points and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It kind of really dug into all that kind of thing, and that was what I felt I was missing before, and so it definitely kind of hit all the spots, you know, in terms of that.
Awesome.
And then what was the other thing? Was that all three?
Yeah, no, I think that was it. It was the time, it was the investment, and the overlap, because you'd already done the course.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically when I was putting the course together all those years ago, I really wanted to flesh out the elements that I found really tricky. And, you know, it's those brainstorming those features, advantages, benefits, because we all hear, write about the benefits, not the features. And you're like, okay. But everyone stops short and, you know, writing headlines.
And that's what I was doing, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And we all do the same thing. So I was really dialing into the challenges that I found as a copywriter that took me a little while to figure out. So, yeah, I'm really glad it's, you know, that process element.
Yeah.
Do this,
definitely.
and this is how you do it.
Yeah, definitely.
And so was there a particular, like a favorite aspect of the course, maybe the course content or how it was delivered, that you really loved?
Both, really, but I think the most valuable bit is the coaching calls and the fact that you give feedback on everyone's, you know, actual work as well. And I really loved when you did like the live editing. That was a real eye opener for me, just seeing how quickly your brain worked, and you know, you could pick up little things, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I wouldn't have even thought about that, you know. So it's kind of you know, something I need to learn as to how to kind of quickly pick up little bits and pieces, which will come with practice, I assume. I hope.
Yes, 100% practice. And what's interesting is you say, I was working so fast with those live editing. And so for anyone watching, the live editing bits were, rather than saying, well, here was your headline and here is a better headline. It was like, here's your headline and here is how I would improve it. And it's not always like an A-B. It was kind of like A all through the alphabet, zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And then it was like, and then we end up with this other headline. Yeah. And for me, I felt,
so I was going to say, and you're explaining as well why that word might be better than that word. And that was, you know, really big for me, I think, definitely.
Yeah, it was a really fun process for me. And what I was going to say was I felt it was really slow, and I was always worried. I was like, oh gosh, this must be boring for everyone. But it's practice. It's because I've done that headline brainstorming process so often that now it's like, oh, it's instinct. It's not instinct. I've just done it a lot. And for me, that's the importance of having a process. Is you go step, 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 and you do it so often that it actually becomes a lot faster. And I do remember saying a few things like, this is hard and time consuming now, but it will get faster.
Yeah.
So how do you feel, let's think like how you felt about writing copy before you did the course and how you feel now?
Definitely much more confident. I think because I know I've got that kind of bank of information, all the lessons, I mean, I'm constantly dipping back into them all the time. So every time I've had a project since, I almost sort of go through the whole course, obviously at speed, and pick out the bits that are important. I don't so much watch the videos, but I you know, it's great having all the downloads so that you've got it in words as well, so you can kind of skim read and find the bits that you need when you need them. And I'm pretty much sort of going through your process. Well, I've done that bit first, tick, right, done that bit, you know, and
so good.
It's definitely made me a lot faster. I'm definitely writing a lot faster. I still need to get more faster, but it's definitely made a big difference to that. And just being more confident when I'm talking to clients as well. I'm sort of suggesting things and telling them things and giving reasons why I've done things, and they're like, oh yeah, it's great. So you know,
it's so good. Brilliant. And it's just that being able to explain why you're doing something. Hang on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, for everyone watching at home, working at home with kids, it's fantastic. But yeah, being able to explain why you've constructed things, because sometimes clients will come back and go, I don't really like this phrasing, and being able to go, I actually chose these words because you said you wanted da 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 da. And when I did some research, I found that da 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 da. And clients will often go, oh, okay. Yeah. And it's not just kind of always being right.
No.
Sound really smart.
But you've got a reason for it. I've started doing the little you said about handing over your copy with a Loom video to talk through. I've started doing that, and that is really good, because I mean, a lot of clients are like, oh, that video is brilliant, thank you so much for that, that's really made sense, and they're coming back with like hardly any amends at all. So
that's
it's really good.
Oh, you. And I will also mention that you're a member of my Confident Copywriting group as well.
Yeah.
And we go through a lot more of the layers of delivering your service, and before you talk to the clients, while you talk to the clients, delivering the copy, and afterwards and stuff like that. Sounds like you're sharing a big win, small win for your writing or your business. Have you got anything you'd love to have a little brag about if you're good?
I think, I mean, the thing for me that sort of proves I'm more confident, I think, is that I've taken on a couple of projects of things that I would normally have said, oh no, sorry, I don't do that. So I've recently done a couple of sales pages for people, and emails as well, and I've never done those before, and I would always be a bit, oh, I don't know how to tackle that, and I'm not sure. But now I'm just like, well, I've got all the stuff, go back to the lessons, go through it. It's all the same process at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter what type of copy you're writing.
Yes.
So I've done, and I felt a lot more, I haven't even felt like, oh my God, I've got to write a sales page. I was like, oh great, I'm going to write a sales page. I was really confident about doing something new. So
that is brilliant. And a lot of, there's so much, like in module 3, it's like how to write different types of website pages, brochures, direct mail, emails, and ads. But if I was going to and email sequences and sales pages and stuff like that, you would still be doing the course. It would just go on forever.
Yeah.
I love that thing. Yeah, the point you made is you learn the building blocks.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can put them together to write anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you. I love that. So if anyone considering the course, do you have any message for them if they're a little bit uncertain?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I would say do it, basically. It's definitely made a big difference to me. It is worth every penny and more, I think, definitely. And I mean, it helped having like a payment plan as well, so it made it, makes it more affordable, but it's definitely worth every penny. And the fact that I've got that there now for life, to go and dip into, is just brilliant, really.
Copywriting Bible for life.
Yes. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, it's a predictable answer. Do the course. That's what we're talking about. But I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate those little elements that you've enjoyed about the course. And I appreciated your dedication to turning up, because I know the times are often a little late for you in the UK.
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
Got to see you in your dressing gown, which was awesome. But you showed up, and you kept showing up, and that the people who really keep turning up and getting the most out of the course, that's where the real acceleration happens.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Louise. I will let you get on with your evening. I appreciate your time today. I'm going to figure out what's happening out there, and I'll see you in Confident Copywriting really soon.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Cheers.
Bye.
Oh, there we go. And that was Louise talking about her experience on the Copywriting Master Class, with a little interruption from my 3-year-old, because that is how life rolls, not just now, but all the time. Because, of course, I run my business around my family, around my barking dog, around a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, around school needs and daycare needs and stuff like that. And for me, copywriting has allowed me to have more career control. I'm not told what to do except by me. I decide what I'm going to learn, when I'm going to learn. I love taking courses and learning new things. I love digital marketing, and I love writing. And so starting my own business as a copywriter has allowed me so much flexibility, so much freedom, and so much control. Now, it's bloody hard work, of course. I work harder for myself than I have ever worked in any job for anyone else, but it's for me, right? It's absolutely for me. So if you are thinking that copywriting might be for you, my big tips and these are ones I went through on some training the other day, is learn while you earn if you can. But also, it's never too late to go back and reset your copywriting foundation. Louise just told us that she did a course and then she started her copywriting business, but she felt there were gaps. And those gaps are what will stop you making progress. It stopped, me making progress, which is why I always still love to learn. So, I don't have the only copywriting course in the world, but what I would say is invest in your skills, invest in learning your craft, invest in a community, find people that know what you do so you can talk about it as well. And I will say that the Copywriting Masterclass offers all those things. Now, it's open until Sunday evening here in the States, but you get instant access to everything when you join. So that's 3 modules, 2 modules on marketing psychology and copywriting techniques, and then a 3rd module on the writing process. And that's when you get writing projects to do. For each major theme in the course, there are worksheets to complete, and you submit those to a forum, and I scoop them up at the end of the week, and then we have a coaching call where I talk through as many of the submissions as possible, or at least the submissions that offer the most advice for everyone. And that is the real gold of the course. You have lifetime access to the content, which I upgrade every year, and you get access to all future upgrades, no upgrade charges. You get access to the forum where I've posted my feedback since 2013. Now, a lot of students say they do the worksheets and then they check the forum to see how other people have done it and what advice I gave them. And then they make amendments and then they submit it for the coaching call, right? So it is a gold mine of tips, advice, and feedback. And you have lifetime access to that. You have lifetime access to the coaching calls for your cohort. So if you miss a call, you can go back and watch it anytime. And all the coaching calls are searchable. So you can actually dial into specifically one particular technique or one particular question or anything like that in the coaching call. So there is so much to this course. It can be a little overwhelming. There's so much, but this is the kind of course where you set a date for yourself every week, set a couple of hours aside for 12 weeks, and you will go from being uncertain about what the hell you're doing on the page to being confident, just like Louise was. She said she feels more confident. She's taking on more sophisticated projects and she's writing better copy faster, right? Isn't that worth a couple of hours of your time for 12 weeks? I think it is. I think it is. But if you have any questions about the Copywriting Masterclass, pop them below. I'm here all week. I'm doing fantastic free training on my Facebook page. And I'm answering questions in my inbox and on Instagram and in all sorts of places. So if you're uncertain, if you have a question, if you're thinking, I think so, but I'm not sure, reach out. Let's have a chat. Pitch free chats, right? So I'm going to let you go back to your day. This afternoon, I am running more free training here on how to create client wowing samples for your empty portfolio. So come back at the end of the day, 4 p.m. Pacific time, and get in on that. Oh, I better go and see what's happening. Have a great day, everyone.